Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is your Wednesday edition of Weather Where You Are. I am Ella Dorsey, and it's all everyone is talking about, Hurricane Beryl. All right? It is tracking towards Jamaica. It's going to have a major impact on Jamaica today. It's going to have a major impact on Cancun, Tulum, many popular vacation destination spots over the coming days. And then it's going to track towards Texas. So this is a major impact storm. Right now, it is very close to Jamaica. It is only about 50 miles off of the coastline. It is going to sweep pretty close to the southern coastline. Kingston, which is the largest city in Jamaica, is on the eastern side of the island. And the eyewall winds, which are usually the strongest winds, usually are located on the north and eastern side of hurricanes. That's going to be the side that sweeps the closest to the southern coast of Jamaica. So the southern coast may get in on those extremely strong eyewall winds, which once again are going to be sitting between 130 and 140 miles per hour. So Jamaica's really in for it this afternoon. You can see by 7 p.m. it is past the island. It's actually moving very quickly. That might be the one piece of good news. It's moving about 20 miles per hour. So by tonight, Jamaica should see conditions improve, but the next several hours are going to be really bad for that island. And then, as you can see, the red outline around Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, that is a hurricane warning, which means hurricane force winds are expected. They're 75 miles per hour or higher. So Cayman Islands will also be impacted as well by a Category 3 storm. It does look like the strongest winds, the eyewall winds, will stay south of the Cayman Islands through the overnight hours. Tulum, Cancun, the coastline of the Yucatan Peninsula, also now under a hurricane warning. Beryl is likely to still have Category 2 strength when it makes landfall just south of Tulum. Again, the northern side, the eastern side of those storms are usually the strongest. So Tulum, Cancun, going to get in on some really strong wind gusts. And this will be early on Friday morning, so overnight Thursday into Friday when it moves across the Yucatan Peninsula. It then moves into the Bay of Campeche or the southern Gulf of Mexico and re-strengthens, okay? It feeds off that warm water back into a Cat 1 hurricane, starts curving up the coastline, making landfall again somewhere right along the Mexico-Texas border. It is going to bring heavy rain to cities like Austin, Houston, Dallas early next week. So if you have flights to Texas next Monday, or if you have family that lives in Texas, this is something you'll want to be watching closely towards the beginning of next week. This will have no impact here locally, but guys, this is going to be a major impact storm just because of how many islands and highly populated areas and vacation spots it is going to impact over the next week. Again, this is the earliest Cat 5 storm we've ever seen on record in the Atlantic. Usually we don't have this kind of ocean heat content until September. The ocean sea surface temperatures are the warmest they've ever been. So that's one of the reasons that NOAA predicted a super hyperactive season, and you're seeing it with Beryl. Essentially, these storms, they hit this warm ocean water and they explode. There's just nothing stopping them. Think about adding oxygen to a fire, right? Blowing on a flame. That is what the warm ocean water does for these storms. And just because it's so warm, these storms they maintain their strength really well. That's what we just saw with Beryl. We've seen it with storms in the past several years in the Gulf of Mexico, and we're likely to see that again. So we're still right in the beginning of hurricane season. August and September, probably October as well, are going to be rough. And that is something we're going to be watching, okay? Just as a reminder, typically we see 14 named storms. NOAA predicted 17 to 25 this year, 8 to 13 hurricanes, and 4 to 7 major hurricanes, and we've already seen one, Beryl, okay? All right, let's talk about what's going on outside right now, shall we? It's 82 degrees, but man, does it feel soupy. Feels like 87. You know why? The dew point, okay? So you guys know we had a really hot month of June. Last several weeks have been really hot. We've hit it upper 90s to 100 degrees, but the humidity has been relatively low for Georgia in the summer. That's not the case anymore. Dew points are back in the 70s, so it's going to feel just as hot, if not even hotter, than it did the last several weeks over the coming several days. 92 degrees today, only an isolated storm. You can see the heat index today is elevated. It's going to be at about 95 degrees. That's the feels like temperature with the humidity. But look at tomorrow, 4th of July, feels like temperatures from like 2 to 7 p.m. are sitting at 105 degrees. For that reason, Metro Atlanta is under its first heat advisory of the season. This does not include Forsyth and Hall counties and the mountains, but everywhere else with dew points in the low 70s. It feels like temperatures are going to be at or above 102 degrees through the afternoon. I know many of you, probably all of you, okay, have outdoor plans. Just know you need to be taking breaks from the heat tomorrow, okay? So let's start at 8 a.m. Already feels like 85 degrees. You're running the Peachtree roadways? Yeah, Heartbreak Hill. Whoo, you're going to get a nice sweat in. Let's just put it that way. By 10 a.m., it feels like 95 degrees in Atlanta. Yikes. By 4 p.m., 104 is what it feels like in Atlanta, 104 in Rome, 100 in LJ, 102 in Athens, 103 in Edenton. So very, very hot and humid tomorrow. And even at 7 p.m. tomorrow, it feels like temperatures are still in the triple digits. So again, water, breaks in the shade, all of the above for the 4th of July. In terms of the actual rain chances, we're going to see spotty thunderstorms through the afternoon, possibly into the evening. Coverage will be at about 30%. 95 degrees is the actual high tomorrow, okay? So it's going to be quite hot. Taking you through the futurecast, you can see just a few spotty thunderstorms tomorrow through the afternoon, stopping the clock again at 9. Both of our long-range models are hinting at some storms continuing tomorrow evening south of Atlanta, so South Metro down to Central Georgia. There's a shot that you may see a few storms during the fireworks tomorrow. I think most of us will be dry for fireworks tomorrow. Then looking at Friday, we've added a first alert weather day because we're going to see storms start to pop up in the early afternoon, and they're going to be widespread through the evening. Friday afternoon and evening look pretty dang stormy, okay? And that's the start of a much stormier pattern that takes over for the weekend. Doesn't look as stormy Saturday and Sunday, but still about a 40, maybe even a 50% chance of scattered storms. We need this rain, guys, okay? June was pretty dry and really hot, and if you don't see rain, you're likely to hit the mid-90s, so you're going to want to see it. You guys know the drill, what these storms are like. They're heavy rain producers, right? So if one moves over you, you'll get heavy rain for about an hour, lightning. Severe risk is low, but we could see a few strong storms. Overall, we're looking at above a half an inch of rain for everyone. That's great news, really great news. Up to maybe 2 inches in spots. So that should really help how dry your yard is, okay? So feels like temperatures tomorrow, above 102. I bet we'll see a heat advisory again on Friday because it's so hot and humid. Feels like temperatures will once again be above 100. Same thing on Saturday. So it is going to be quite humid this upcoming weekend. All right, y'all. Cutter is in at noon, and he's going to be bringing you the latest from the National Hurricane Center, and we have a whole team here this afternoon that's going to be watching it very closely. Again, it's going to move past Jamaica. It's moving past Jamaica right now, but it's really going to impact Jamaica for the next several hours, then moving back over open water overnight tonight. So we will be bringing you the latest out of Jamaica, and just know that if you do have any plans for tomorrow, that heat advisory is from 1 to 7 p.m. All right, y'all, I will see you bright and early tomorrow if you are up early, 6 a.m., 9 a.m. on Atlanta News First, and 7 and 8 a.m. on Peachtree TV. I will have the latest on Beryl, tracking your 4th of July forecast. Everyone have a great holiday.